Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply, and this is the Leather Element. If you've got a good question for us or a good idea for a leather element, drop it in the comment box below. Also, if you want to know when our videos release, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. I'm always getting questions on light fading. Have I ruined my leather? Can I even use light faded leather? Well, actually, I think the answer is going to surprise you. So let's step over to our pattern table, see what we're talking about. Have you ever unrolled a roll of natural veg and all of a sudden we've got two different colors of leather? This is simply light fading, and it's not the issue it appears to be. In fact, quite the opposite. Now, light fading. Chrome tans, they're dyed, they're top coated. They will light fade over years. Everything will. It's just UV rays. But a natural veg tan is going to fade a little bit faster. Now I say a little bit faster because right here, great example. I took this piece and I laid this in direct sunlight, dropped a piece of poster board over it so we get a good comparison. That's 10 hours of direct sunlight, and it's not really that much of a change. So all told, it's not going to be fast, but over weeks or months, we will see some light fading. Now, one of my questions to the pros, and we'll talk about that too, is this a quality issue? No, absolutely not. Some leathers will light fade to a more pink. Some will light fade to, say, more of a saddle tan or maybe a rust color. That is simply the recipe for the tannage of the tannery. Does not denote quality by any means. Okay, I've got 3 samples on our main work table. We've got some light fading here. Let's dye these and see what happens. I've given our 3 swatches about the same amount of time in the sun. So that's roughly 8, maybe 9 hours direct sunlight. So let's do this. Let's go with a light brown. Let's dye that. Also, a little out of the box. Let's go with a red and then a black, because that makes a good point with light fading. So let's just dye all 3 colors. And our black. Let some of that excess dye drain off. Okay, let's give these 2, maybe 3 hours dry time. Let's see what happens. We've given our swatches ample dry time on the light brown. I can see a bit of a difference between the two. This is non-faded and light faded. In all honesty, I think that's a little bit more of a rich color. Keep that in mind. We're going to come back to that. Right here on the red, we can barely tell a difference. Well, in all honesty, out in the sunlight and bright light, we most likely could. The black, yeah, doesn't matter, does it? So 2 big points here. First off, if we've got some light faded leather, let's use that for a project, for a complete project. But if we don't have enough, easy enough. Let's simply use the light faded leather to dye black for pieces and parts for other projects. We will never know the difference. One more step. Let's jump over to our pattern table, because here's some information about light fading that we may not be thinking about. When we're new to leathercraft, we can look at something like that and think, I have absolutely ruined my leather. As we've seen, not at all. But let's take this a step further. I've seen holster manufacturers. They don't use dye. They use light fading for color on their gun belts and holsters. Add a little oil, a little top coat, and that is absolutely beautiful. Hermann Oak, and a big thanks to Hermann Oak for helping out with some of the information for this video. They can tell you exactly how much light fading their leather is going to do at any given time. And major manufacturers, they'll calculate light fading in with their dye and their top coat to arrive at exactly a final color. And one more. How about we turn a negative into an absolute plus? What could we possibly do with light fading? Let's all take that ball and run with it. Like so many aspects of leathercraft, what may appear to be a negative is actually a very cool positive. I hope this brings you up to speed on light fading. It's not the issue that we may have thought it was. Thanks for taking time to watch The Leather Element. Good luck with your projects.